Hello, everyone. Welcome to day 12 of 28 Days of Love. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you're ready to move into another week, practicing all of this stuff that we're learning and to continue to shift and to grow and all of this good stuff. And I know Mondays can be very hectic for many of us, so I'm going to keep this video shorter today so that you can just get on and keep doing the work along with all the other stuff that is on your plate. And so today we're going to talk about surrender and acceptance. And that's kind of two topics, but they kind of go together. So as we move through life, we've been talking about, everything is energy and everything has to move and there's this flow to life. And really we want to make sure that we're staying in that flow of life. And a lot of times what happens is when we fall into that fear-based living, we resist, right? And we're not going with that flow and it just becomes a struggle. The more we resist, the more we struggle. And so surrendering is that opportunity to just kind of allow yourself to let go of all of that resistance and just flow with everything that's moving forward. Sometimes that's easier said than done, but I can honestly tell you from my own experience that when I do that, the outcome that you're looking for comes a lot sooner and in a much better way. Acceptance is a tough one, and in order to surrender, we have to accept. And the important thing to remember is that we only have control over ourselves. We have full and complete control over everything that happens inside. We have no control over anything that happens outside of us, okay? We have no control over our spouse, their actions, their thoughts, no control over our kids, their actions, their thoughts, or our coworkers, society. We have no control over that. And it's tough, especially with our family and the people we love. We become control freaks, right? Because in our mind, we believe that we understand things that could maybe help them. But again, everything is different for everybody, right? And maybe what's right for us isn't right for somebody else, especially someone we love. And we need to start practicing accepting that each other person in this world is having their own journey. They're having their own opportunities and experiences where they, just like us, have choice all the time, whether to choose to give control to that fear-based mind or take control back and live from that place of love. And so the sooner we can start to accept that we have no control over anything outside of our own self, the sooner we can start to let go of that resistance and surrender and start to go with the flow. Now later on, as we move through the weeks, we're going to talk about manifesting. And when we talk about that, yes, there's things that we're going to focus on to try to create, obviously, certain outcomes that are outside of us. But one of the things that we have to also keep in mind is that sometimes the universe just has a better plan or a bigger plan for us. And even though we may be completely aligned and in that perfect state for manifesting the life we deserve and desire, sometimes along the way, we just need to surrender, especially when things seem challenging. And it's probably because we're not recognizing that we are resisting. And I guess to give you an example of surrendering and letting the universe maybe carry you down this flow of life. A little over a year ago, my husband and I were looking to purchase a new home. And we looked at many places and really struggled to find something that we really wanted. And we were very clear on what we wanted in a home and the purpose for using this space. And for me, a big part of it, and well, for both of us, a big part of it was a space where I could do more of the work I do from home, so small classes and one-on-one healing sessions. Anyway, we found what we believed was a perfect home. It was a duplex, fully finished. The basement was perfect for doing small workshops and classes and all that stuff. And we were really had our hearts set on this house, and we had an offer on it, and we were competing with somebody else. And I was doing crystal grids and meditating and manifesting in every way I could to make sure that, you know, this deal would go through and that we would be able to purchase this home. And then we found out that the other offer was their bid was accepted over ours, so we did not purchase that home. And at first there was that little bit of disappointment, right? And then I reminded myself, okay, you know what? There just might be something better or bigger out there. And so I surrendered, and I just allowed myself to be in the now and continue to just move forward day by day. And it wasn't very long after, maybe a week or two after, where we found this home we're in now, which is bigger, more beautiful, more perfectly suited to us. And we purchased it for way less than what we had put the offer in on the other house. So that is an example of, you know, sometimes when things aren't going, rather than resist, just surrender and go with that flow and see where it takes you. And, you know, sometimes it might take a bit to get there, but if you surrender and go with that flow, oftentimes, in my experience anyway, it just works out perfectly. It's just, you know, maybe it's not the right time, or it's not the right place. And the more that we can trust in that, we will start to see that everything falls into place beautifully. And so I have 2 book recommendations for this area on surrender and acceptance. The first one is a book called The Surrender Experiment by Michael A. Singer. Great book, and it's all about his life, his true story, and how you know, he was always met with this resistance, and things were popping up that, you know, this isn't what I had planned, this isn't where I want to go. And the more he surrendered, it just took him to something bigger, something better, something more. And it's quite a wonderful story, a true story, and it's quite fascinating. And the other one is, which I think I've already recommended, is The Power in Now. And I actually wanted to read something from here because in speaking with just some of you in person during this, or even over the phone and email, there's a lot of question around inner peace, and, you know, how do we find inner peace? And that's what we're trying to do through these 28 days. And what does it even feel like? And when I was thinking about it last night, I thought, you know, to me, inner peace is where it doesn't matter what's going outside of you, there is still this calmness inside. Even though you are aware that this is a situation that could create some sadness or could create some anger or whatever it is, but yet you still have this calm feeling. And I do definitely remember experiencing that once. And I think for brief moments here and there, we do experience inner peace. And the purpose of doing this work is so that we can experience that more and more and more. But I wanted to read something from The Power of Now, which I just thought really summed it up beautifully. And it's all around this discussion on inner peace. And the book says, don't look for peace. Don't look for any other state other than the one you are in now. Otherwise, you will set up inner conflict and unconscious resistance. Forgive yourself for not being at peace. The moment you completely accept your non-peace, your non-peace becomes transmuted into peace. Anything you accept fully will get you there, will take you into peace. This is the miracle of surrender. And when I read that, I just thought that makes so much sense to me. And so along with your homework, before I get to the homework, I did include a couple other links in there with some more resources as well to help you out. And your homework, I just want you to start to notice when you're resisting, right? As you move through your day, as you move through your week, notice when there's this resistance. And rather than fight it, allow yourself to, connect with yourself, hand on heart, take those deep breaths, bring yourself into now, into the present, right? When we're resisting, we're thinking about the past, or we're, worrying about the future. Come into this now, into present moment, and just allow yourself to surrender, to let go, and trust in the flow of life, in the universe, and see where it takes you, okay? And it's something you have to work at depending on, the level of resistance that you're being met with. But again, the more we start to do this and practice it, the easier it becomes, the more natural it starts to feel. And we're just learning to live our life differently. That's all we're doing. We're creating new habits, and then also creating new outcomes with that shift as well. So practice surrender, practice acceptance. Remind yourself that I only have control over myself, and I only have control over how I choose to respond, right? I think we often look for happiness. We look for everything outside of us. We're always searching out there, but everything is in here. And as soon as we let go of that and surrender into here, we find what we're looking for. So rather than, becoming a slave to others by giving them the power to decide whether we're happy or not, remember that you are the one. You have that choice. You can choose to be happy or to be sad, okay? And there are times when we need to feel those emotions. Don't get me wrong. Remember, we talked about emotions and feeling them, but you also have that choice to feel them and release them and not hold on to them. All right, so practice that, and we'll dig into some more stuff tomorrow. Have a fabulous day. Start your week off positive and motivated. Keep the emails coming, and I've got a special surprise for you on Valentine's Day, a little gift for you, so tune in for that. And I look forward to another day with you tomorrow.